What is up, guys? Justin here with my pickups from this week/weekend. I did not have a phenomenal weekend at the garage sales by any means, but I was able to somewhat salvage it this morning, Saturday morning, with a few finds anyway. And then if I have time at the end of the video, I'll show a couple quick deals from earlier in the week. It was a pretty interesting garage sale weekend though, with the weather that was going on here. And I ended up in a Funhouse at one point. I don't know, just check out the footage I got and then I'll show you guys what I picked up. What is up, guys? Friday morning. I've got a decent number of sales to hit this morning. I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to hit tomorrow morning, so hoping for some luck today. What a buzzkill. There's two in a row. I don't know if you can read it, but it says sale postponed due to weather. It looks fine to me. Yeah, it's beautiful. 70 degrees. What the fuck? So, not ideal garage sailing conditions on this Saturday morning. People were canceling their sales yesterday when it was 73 degrees and cloudy. I can't imagine there's much going on today, but I'm already awake, so let's go hit up some garage sales. Hey, so we got some pickups in the rain. I'll be honest, this was kind of like a semi-lead I had for the day, and probably the only reason that I even got up and came out to the sales this morning. And even still, it wasn't a phenomenal deal. I got a little bit of a bundle deal on all this, so kind of ignore the price stickers here. But yeah, it was a blue PSP system and a small stack of N64 games, which I'll go over more in the pickup video. Hey, so we actually got some pickups in. Okay, that's obnoxious. Hey, so we actually got some more pickups in the rain. This sale was actually inside someone's house, but ended up looking through their CDs and their DVDs and found some game stuff mixed in. This one obviously being the best one. It does have the wrong discs in it. There's multiple discs in there. I'll show it in more detail in the pickup video.
Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Watch out! Watch out! Let me go! Let me go! I've got to stop my crazy ride!
So yeah, Friday was an absolute joke at the garage sales. I did a little bit of a Facebook rant about this on Friday morning, but I'll say it again right here. Not only did I see a total of 0 video games at the garage sales on Friday morning, but half of the sales that I drove to either just didn't exist, like there was nothing going on, or they had signs up that said that their sale was postponed or canceled due to the weather. And so apparently people up here are not afraid to have garage sales in the snow, which I went to earlier in the year, but they'll cancel their sale if it's like 70 degrees and like a 30% chance of rain. I don't know. So didn't find anything on Friday. Putting that behind me, I'll move straight to Saturday, where you saw the weather conditions were even worse. It was pissing down rain on Saturday, but I did manage to get a good number of finds here. So I started out by driving actually 2 towns over from me to a sale that I'd been in contact with earlier in the week. I knew they were going to have some game stuff, and that's really the only reason I bothered getting up and going out this morning. But yeah, I drove over there and ended up picking up a PSP system. It's actually a blue PSP 2000 model. Which I was pretty happy to see. I mean, I don't pick up a lot of PSPs, but something like this seems to be a little bit more, like, I don't want to say uncommon, but it's not the typical PSP that you see, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Came with a copy of Madden 09, And now I'm wondering, this being a blue PSP, if it was maybe bundled with this originally. I'm not sure. Someone can drop a comment and let me know on that. But the system came with, kind of beat up, but the booklets here for it. And then it came with a charger and what looks like maybe a car charger. Not sure if that goes to it or not, but some cords nonetheless. So I had to make an offer sticker on it there. I should have just made them an offer, but I asked them what they were looking to get. They told me 20 bucks. And I was like, okay, let's be strategic here, because they also had a small stack of N64 games at this sale. I know I didn't get any footage of it while I was actually at the sale. It was kind of crowded. They were all just kind of like huddled around me. I didn't want to like whip my phone out and start filming. But they had some N64 games, all individually priced. Some sports games that were dirt cheap, and then some $5 games, which were the better ones, even though there was nothing too great at all. So I was like, let's be a little strategic here. I'm going to pick out $15 worth of their N64 games, pair it with the $20 PSP, and see if I can't get it all for 30 bucks. So here's what I pulled out. Mission Impossible, that one was marked for $2 there. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, that was one of the ones marked at $5, which I wouldn't have paid $5 for this, but I did get end up getting that bundle deal. FIFA Soccer 64, $1.50 written on that one. Madden 2001, $1.50. $1 for Wildlife Country Club, and probably the best one I got, which was marked for $5, Army Men Sarge's Heroes. It is the gray cartridge though. Seems to be a little bit harder to find than the green cartridge. I think I already have this, but I will have to double check before I do anything with this. So yeah, all those N64 games total 15, but I ended up getting those and the PSP all for 30, which was, I think, a pretty solid deal. Now moving on to what was actually the very next sale that I stopped at just around the corner. It was a sale going on indoors, probably because it was raining out. But I saw that they had a pretty good sized box of CDs and a smaller box of DVDs and stuff. But as soon as I crouched down next to the CD box, I realized they had some PlayStation games in there because I saw the greatest hits first, and then I saw the NTSC on the spines of these ones here. There's a little tip for you guys, I guess, if you ever want to scan a box of CDs or like a wall of CDs at a thrift store quickly for any games, just look for the NTSC or obviously the greatest hits there. You can pick yourself out some PlayStation games. But yeah, I ended up picking up Spyro the Dragon, which, as I mentioned in the beginning clips, did not have the right discs in it. So it's the case for Spyro the Dragon 1, but inside were the discs for Spyro Ripto's Rage, which I believe was the second one, and then Spyro Year of the Dragon, which I believe was the third one. So I was looking everywhere in this CD case, or in this box of CDs for this disc that originally went in here. They had a bunch of loose discs that I looked through, didn't find it, and they had a bunch of like cases that were just blank that I looked in, didn't find it. So I don't know what happened to that disc, but I was still happy to get the other two. And they're only selling what they thought were CDs for 50 cents each. So I got both those discs for 50 cents. Also in there was a copy of Snowboarding, which was complete, I believe, 50 cents on that. MLB 2003. The only reason I grabbed this one is because I needed to round off my purchase to an even $2 because I didn't have any change with me. And then in their DVD bin, I saw this. For the PlayStation 2, we got Cars, which I believe was complete. So yeah, 50 cents a piece, $2 for all that stuff. For those Spyro discs, that was a great deal. I'm happy I stopped at that sale. Usually I don't like going to those sales where they're like in people's houses. I don't know, I just feel kind of weird about it. But I'm happy I went into that one. So, moving on to, I believe, the last sale where I found stuff. I hit a few in between here, but one of the last sales I hit for the day, I walked up there and I saw this Wii U Pro Controller? I don't know. A Wii U controller. And it didn't have like the cord with it or anything, but it wasn't priced. I figured I could get it pretty cheap. But I asked if they had any other video game stuff they were looking to sell. And the guy said he had a Super Nintendo that he didn't want to get rid of, but again, I always ask, do you have any games you don't play or anything? And when I asked that, he's like, yeah, I think I do, just like last weekend. So I got some games I don't play. So I'm standing there, and I was standing out there for like a solid 5-8 minutes waiting for this guy to come back out. I actually did a Facebook post while I was there I was gonna get out and film, but there was the other lady running the sale was like right there. I didn't want to whip my phone out and start filming, but I kind of took a selfie and did a Facebook post, all excited, you know, for thinking what could this guy be bringing out. And it ended up being a pretty big buzzkill. He walked out of his house with Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball, NHL 96, and John Madden Football. And so I told him, you know, I was like, hey, I'm not too into the sports games, but I asked him, you know, what he might be looking to get for him. He told me whatever I wanted to pay for him. I said, you know, I'll give you $1 each on them if you'll sell me the controller too for an extra $2. So I got it all for an even $5. Not the outcome I was hoping for, but we got some dollar games anyway. So that was all I found at the garage sales this morning, actually this weekend. Like I said, nothing on Friday morning, and I thought I at least somewhat salvaged it this morning, considering it pissing down right now and everything. I was surprised most of these sales were even going on. But anyway, what time are we at for this video here? I got time to show you guys a couple quick pickups from earlier in the week. Actually, both of these came on the same day from the same Facebook group, I believe. Different people though. In the morning on Wednesday or Thursday, I met up with somebody for a copy of Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube, which has gotten pretty expensive recently. I was surprised when I saw that. Did not have the manual, but it was just the disc in the case. In pretty nice shape. Got that for $10. I believe they were originally asking $20 on that. So that was a pretty good deal. And then that same night, later on that evening, I met up with somebody for a PS2 Slim Bundle. I won't show it all individually, but it's the system, had cords, actually 2 AV cables, a first-party controller, and a broken Intech controller. Or is that Pelican? Intech. Who cares? But also with that deal was this Game Boy case here, which was originally full of this bag of Game Boy games. A couple decent ones in here that I plan on keeping for my collection. So we'll start going through these here. For the Game Boy Color, we got NASCAR Challenge, Game Boy Advance Need for Speed Underground 2. For the Game Boy Color, we got Gex 3 Deep Pocket Gecko. One of the better ones in there was Metal Walker, Capcom game. Picked up a couple of these on the way down to Midwest Gaming Classic this year, I believe, from that Mega Media Exchange that was going out of business. I ended up hanging on to one of those, but I think my front label's a little bit faded, so I will check it with this one and switch it out if I need to. For the Game Boy Advance, we got Ace Combat Advance, also Operation Armored Liberty, a classic NES series Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Just a few more in here. True Lies for the original Game Boy. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Game Boy Color. Gobs of Games by 3DO for the Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance F-14 Tomcat. And then the last one I got, the one I was most excited about, which I believe I still needed for my collection, Contra the Alien Wars for the original Game Boy. Which, actually, this game alone, I was surprised, is worth basically what I paid for everything. For that PS2 Slim Bundle and all those Game Boy games, I paid $30. She told me to make an offer, I said $30, and she seemed thrilled to take the $30. So, she said she might have some more game stuff too, so hopefully I hear back from her. But yeah, $30 for that, pretty sweet. So overall, it was a decent week. Obviously nothing phenomenal at the garage sales, but if I learned anything this week, I guess it was go garage sailing in the rain. I don't know. We'll go with that. Thank you guys, though, for sticking around and checking out this video. And until next time, take care.